The Smiley J Artist Zone, a platform for and about independent artists. Music, interviews, and much, much more. Now, give it up. Your host, Smiley J.
Welcome to the Smiley J Artist Zone, a cool space dedicated to independent music creators. Chit-chat and music is what I do. Yes, I'm your show host, Smiley J, and I am so glad that you guys are hanging out with me today. Yes, I am. Shout out to all of my dedicated listeners. I appreciate you. Just know that I do. Indeed, I do. And you know what? I have some new listeners that I have to acknowledge. I have some new listeners in Russia. Russia. Who knew? What up, Russia? Y'all keep listening, okay? I got you. If this is your first time, I also want to acknowledge you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in today because after all, you could be doing some other stuff. But you decided to hang out with me, Smiley J, and for that, I appreciate you. And just remember, all I ask is that you come back, okay? Don't make this one and done. Come back and hang out with me again and bring a friend, okay? Now, just remember, to all my listeners, you can listen to the show in real time, or you can go back and listen on your favorite music streaming platform. Yes, just click under the podcast section and also hit that follow button, okay? So wherever you choose to listen, hit the follow button because we do have choices around here, and I love choices. Yes, I do. All right. Now, before I bring David on, let me talk to the independent artists out there. Yes, I have a lot of listeners who are artists, so I know that being an independent artist can be a bit expensive. Yes, because you know what? You are pretty much your own record label, and you're responsible for the finances related to creating that music. So if you are an artist and you are in need of any of the following services, such as radio promotion, public relations, web design, digital marketing, production, distribution, advertising, all of that stuff, related to music, then I want you guys to hit up Your Music Consultant. Yes, that's yourmusicconsultant.com. Be sure to mention the Smiley J Show, okay? Mention my show and get you a little discount. Or you can use the code TSJAZ. Go ahead and take advantage of some of those services because after all, we can't do everything. And you know what? When you need help, go ahead and pay somebody who can get the job done for you. All right. Now, before I bring on today's guest, let me just tell you a little bit about him. David Blackwell is a singer, songwriter, and musician who uses his music as a tool to communicate messages that inspires and spark a little self-reflection, without being preachy. But you will always find a message in his music. His new release single entitled Patience is something that, we all can take a chapter from. I need you guys to help me welcome today's guest, Mr. David Blackwell. Hey, welcome to the Smiley J Artist Zone. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me back. It was so much fun last time.
Yes. Oh, my God. You guys were so funny. My goodness. But, I'm glad to have you back on the show this time, promoting your solo project. Congratulations, by the way, on everything.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And yes, definitely thank you for having me back on your show.
Most definitely.
And I'm happy to hear it's doing so well. So
yeah.
Well.
Slowly but surely, yes. So before we start, wait, do I call you Dave or David? I want to get it right.
In the music world, everybody calls me Dave.
Okay, but you had another name too. I remember from the last. Last year.
From years past, Dawit was for a long time.
Okay.
But Dave, I've come back to Dave.
Okay, Dave is cool. So, Dave, I really like your music. I listened. It's different. It's fresh. And you know what? It's nice to listen to.
Well, thank you. Different and fresh. I think those are like the best words you can say to any artist, really.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
I mean, it's a lot of music out here. All music isn't good music, but music is subjective, to the listener. So, but I like different. My ear is like in tune to different stuff, and I really like that. So, before we talk about your music, let's talk about Charles Road Records. So, like, where did the name come from? Is that like your middle name or your dad's name? I'm just curious.
Well, Charles Road is where we're actually located. And the name came and stuck because this is where the art was born and where we continue to create it. So we just wanted to, like, just honor the location we're in because we're not going anywhere. So it's going to be Charles Road Records for life. And basically, we just want to, you know, just sort of give thanks to what allowed us, you know, the area that allowed us to create.
Yes,
everything
indeed.
we created and will create.
Indeed. So that's so cool. Well, you know what else is cool is your mission statement. And I just want to share with the folks out there because I think it's so dope. So your mission statement is to add a sincere voice to the music landscape by offering content that speaks to our experiences and time on this planet. Our inspiration will be the talents and voices of artists whose own goals align with this mission. And I thought that was so freaking dope.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we just want to add a voice, I guess, to this world. Mm-hmm. You know, a sincere voice, meaning like this is all coming from the heart and we do this out of love. And I think anyone who's an artist or who's a creative, you know, they do it because they can't help but to do it. You know what I mean? It was like they were born with a gift, a calling, and that love drives them forward. We want to, you know, when we focus on music, we want to bring, and you know, we're a brand new label, so we're family run, and I guess most of the artists that we're producing now, we're all family. But we will be looking at, you know, other talent, people who are interested in sort of pursuing this mission. But we want it to be like honest music. We're not going for the hype. We're not going for, you know, what's in at the moment. We want people to speak from their hearts, and create music, art, whatever that comes from their heart and that speaks from them and to others. And we want to try to make, you know, it sounds corny, but we want to try to make the world a better place.
No, it doesn't. Actually, it doesn't, because we need music that, you know, that speaks to our hearts. And as a matter of fact, that music is really timeless. When you have music that just speaks to your heart, and you can play it 10 years from now and it still sounds good, and you can even pass it on to your children, you know? Right. They're like, wow, that's some really dope music.
Right. And it's like it lasts, and it's, you know, because it doesn't, you're not trying to sound like anything else. And I'm like you, I go for the different sounding stuff all the time.
Yeah,
Something
I mean,
is odd sounding, then, you know, I kind of gravitate. Well, not odd, it's a bad word, but if something doesn't sound like everything else that you hear on the radio.
Not mainstream, yeah, I got you.
Mainstream or pop, whatever. That's kind of what I gravitate towards as well.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about your music and the journey on this whole project. Oh, let's talk about your son.
Yeah, that's Unswayed. He's
Is he on your label?
He's on the label.
Yeah.
He is. He's dope. He's a super talented cat. His lyrics and how he approaches songs is crazy, and to watch him work I don't know how he comes up with his lyrics, but Alter Carbon is a beat that because I do beats for him, and he likes most of them.
Well, that's good.
Some he rocks with, some he doesn't, but he likes most of them. And this is one he really liked because it's kind of like a techno house type beat. And he just came up with this idea, like having sort of like a robot. And that robot just sort of came to the realization that he was alive, just sort of became sentient over some time, and grappling with understanding he's alive, and then having to deal with having to serve others. and sort of grappling with that whole love-hate relationship because his creator created him, and
that's
now
deep.
he
That's
has
cool.
to sort of take care of them and sort of just grappling with that whole thing. And
So shout out to your son, because I thought this was, but it's all part of Charles wrote, the family.
Right,
So
right.
now, Muscles and Jackbone, the people.
Yes.
And Patience. Let's talk about that now. I saw the video, and it's a combination of people in different life spaces. It's fun. Fun things, happy times, and protesters. Now, what message were you trying to convey in this video?
Well, for the people, and that's Muscles and Jackbone. It's myself and a brother of mine, Chooks. He's a super dope drummer. That song is based on, originally the song had lyrics and everything. And it was sort of talking about Native Americans and their struggles to continue their life, their livelihood in this hemisphere. That was what the original song was about. But then we decided to expand it, just given with everything that was going on at the time, because it sort of came
Which is a lot.
Right. This kind of came about at the beginning of COVID. So we said, let's just sort of expand this thing and sort of incorporate everything that we're seeing now, which is what the video sort of represents, the protests, and just sort of everything that was going on just in the past couple of years. That's the first half of the video. And the second half, and we're talking about the people, and then the people is,
The people.
We go through everything. Yeah. You can see the bad times and you can see the happy times. Mm-hmm. And so the back half of that video is showing the happy times.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I really like it.
So thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. It was cool, to see, the skateboarders and, the folks at the beach, the happy times, the protesters. I mean, because that's life. We kind of go through these peaks and valleys, and it's real. So. Yeah,
and shout out to my daughter. She edited the whole thing. She's a what do you call it? Filmographer. If that's
nice. So listen, shout out to the whole Blackwell family. You guys are just talented. That is what's up. That's nice.
Well, thank you. Yeah, she's dope too, and she's actually she's a musician as well, so she'll be on the label at some point.
Wonderful. And then she plays instruments, she sings, she does both. She
plays piano, guitar, ukulele, and she sings.
Well, look at here. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be my guest. She's going to be on the show. I already know it. That's what's up. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Patience.
Patience, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for the plug. Patience is a new single coming out. Mm-hmm. Charles Road. Charles Road is my alias. Mm-hmm. And that single will be out on the 18th, actually.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for allowing me to share it today with my listeners. I do appreciate that. So the whole title, the whole song is just really, it's good dialogue, good things to talk about. So now, we live in a society where everything is like super fast paced, including relationships. I mean, exactly. No one wants to get to know each other because, it takes too long.
Exactly. Right. And nobody wants to wait. Everybody wants like McDonald's service for everything.
Yes. Now, personally, I don't have a lot of patience for a lot of things, but, when it comes to romance, I think it should be a natural flow, not too rushed, but it should be natural. Like our grandparents used to say, friendship and courtship, which seems to be something that's missing in action. Right. At least so I hear.
Right. Well, that's because you got that social media, and it's like, it's kind of like we're trying to do it, but not face to face. So I don't know. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Right.
How you get to know someone through? Well, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So let's stick to patience.
Right.
So I want to share a lyric with the folks out there because, I'm about making things, sometimes we have teachable moments on the show. So, for the folks out there who may be in a dating world, I just want to share a lyric from the song Patient. My heart for real is willing to take for as long as love takes to reveal. What? You better go ahead. You better go ahead. I mean, those lyrics are like so sexy and so dope because, again, like I say, in a world where no one is really patient for we want everything like yesterday.
Right. And that's I do a lot of love songs because they just kind of come easily, lyric wise, because I just approach it as a conversation. Mm-hmm. And usually it's a conversation. My wife is my muse, so I just sort of put us in different situations. Some true, some sort of made up, but it's all relating to how we relate or converse in a relationship. So that's what patience is. It's like a conversation, like me saying, I know you're not into me right now, but I'm willing to wait, and I'm going to do all the right things until you decide that you want me or want to be with me.
Now, that's some real grown man stuff right there. Can I just say that? That is some grown man stuff right there. I mean, I'm willing to wait, most of the brothers out here, it's like, I don't need to wait because I got, 10, 11, 12 other women out there waiting, waiting to take their number.
Right.
So it's like, it's just so refreshing to hear music. For me, I love lyrics. I listen to lyrics. Lyrics is what move me, in addition to, the beat. But I like lyrics because I need lyrics to speak to me. And it's just so refreshing to hear music that is organic and honest and true and not overly sexual in your face kind of, kind of stuff. So I can definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. It's just sort of just being real with it. You know what I mean? And respectful. Mm-hmm. And I think that's sort of something that's missing from a lot of music because we want to be so in your face because we're going for the coolest sayings, we're going for shock value, that kind of thing. And it's not as honest as it could be. I know people need to sell records and whatnot, but at the same time, we're not really getting to the heart of a lot of issues. We're not really speaking to a lot of people because we're on that hype machine. Exactly.
Yeah. But the beauty of it is that there's an audience for everyone. So, of course, they have their audience and people that like what they like. They like, a good message along with good music. They're going to take a listen, and be happy.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like patience.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. As a songwriter, past or present, is there a song out there that has inspired or motivated you?
Wow, there's so many songs. You'll never hear all the great music that's out there. But as far as something that inspired me, I'll go back to when, something that really stuck with me as a kid. Like when I first started playing bass, I think I was maybe 12 or 13. And the song that really got me into the bass, and I was just like, what the hell is that? What's going on? Is Stevie Wonder's I Was Made to Love Her.
Okay.
Because my parents had just a ton of 45s. So, I was just going through them. And then I found this one. And that bass line, it's bouncy. It's like Motown bass, but it's just that bouncy, all over the place bass line. And the way, Stevie Wonder, just his vocals just sort of sail over the top of that bass line, that's what kind of got me hooked.
Okay.
Sort of having that sort of the drive of the bass and then the melody on top of it. And I was just fascinated by that sound and how it made me feel, and just sort of it got me amped, got me excited. You know what I mean?
That's always a good thing.
I'm a young kid, he's singing about love, but I'm thinking,
But you felt that, huh?
I felt it, right? And
Yeah.
I felt it. And it's like, that's the feeling that I sort of been chasing, sort of like, okay, this music needs to move or should move people like that. I mean, certain music you need is, works as background. Some music works as sort of meditation. Mm-hmm. We use music for all kinds of things. But
yes.
I was really intent on moving people, getting people to feel a certain thing when they hear a song. And that's kind of what the driving force is behind the songwriting. So it's like a lot of bass heavy stuff. I write mostly on acoustic guitar, but the bass lines always come from that.
Okay.
That era, I guess.
And you play a couple of instruments, right? What do you play? I know you play guitar.
Guitar, keys, bass, drums a little bit. More percussion, not trap drums, but more like percussive elements and such.
Oh my gosh, just super talented. Look at you.
Oh, well, thank you.
So now, who are some of the newer artists that you kind of dig?
Oh, there's a bunch of new folks, and my kids turned me on to a lot of folks as well. I would say most recently, I'm digging like Leon Bridges. Mm-hmm. He's got some really cool stuff. He's been working with Karungbin. They're really good. So their little collab is really nice. There's this young lady out of France, Luz and the Yakuza.
You know what? I've been hearing this name, so I'm gonna have to check her out.
Yeah, she's.
You're like the third person that mentioned her name, so.
Yeah.
See, I'm always learning. I learn from you. I learn from my guests. See, you guys be turning me on to different folks.
Yeah, and it's like it's crazy, like the amount of music that we don't hear, like just sort of in the mainstream. Another one like Cleo Soul, like she's been around for a few years, but she's just
Cleo
dope.
Soul, okay.
Cleo Soul, and then she worked on this, I guess the Salt Project. I'm not really sure who's in that group, but I know she sings with the group. And they're out of, I think they're out of the UK as well. So it's like, it's a lot of different people. My daughter just turned me on to this cat, Ginger Root.
Okay. Ginger Root.
Ginger Root.
Oh, okay.
And he's kind of got like sort of, you remember how, I don't know if you watched 70s TV shows, but his music is like the intro to those shows.
And all those shows had dope intros.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They had like the banging intros.
Yeah.
And his production is kind of ridiculous too. So.
Okay, so look, so you done dropped some nice gems. I'm gonna have to check these folks out. Yes.
But there's so many more. I can go on and on.
Yeah, but I just wanted to kind of know, who else? Some of the folks that you're listening to. I think that's cool. Now, today my listeners get a chance to hear Patience. Yes. And you guys, let me, make sure you drop some comments. We want your feedback. But look, David, before you go, I want to play a quick little fun game. You down for a fun game?
Okay.
It's easy.
All right. As long as it's easy, as long as you're not asking me a bunch of history questions.
I'm not going to do that. It's called Pick One, 3 seconds, 3 questions.
Okay.
Don't overthink it. Okay. Question 1. Is it more important to love or to be loved?
To be loved, I think.
Okay. I'm performing tonight. Well, this is you. I'm speaking like I'm you. I'm performing tonight, but due to budgetary constraints, I have to leave out some instruments. So is it going to be the keys or the bass?
Oh, yeah. We got to let the keys go. Sorry.
Okay. Your last and final question. Pick one. You only have 2 radio stations. Which one are you listening to? The pop station or the folk station?
I got to go with the folk station.
All right. And why? I kind of had a feeling you were going to say that, but just tell us why.
Because it's earthy. You know what I'm saying? Folk is like the root. Mm-hmm. And I got to, if I have to choose one, I got to go with the root.
All right. That's a good choice.
And can I explain the first one, to be loved? Not that, on some rock star vibe, but I'm just thinking when you're born, it's love that nurtures you. So you are loved when you first come into this world, and that's what helps you become the person you are. So
look at that. So
is very important.
look at it, just so poetic. Okay. The next song is going to be entitled "To Be Loved."
There you go.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show today. But before you go, 2 more questions real quick. What are some of your next projects you're working on?
All right. Well, we have a couple more Charles Road singles coming out. I'm trying to build to a nice EP. So those will be coming out. Charles Road Records, the plan is to release 2 singles just for the next 6 months or so, 2 singles per month. So we have Unswayed coming out with a next single end of February. We have a next Muscles and Jackbone single coming out at the beginning of March. I'm working with his sister Isla Vibes. We got a nice little reggae dub coming out.
Cool.
Mid-March. So those are the immediate projects we have coming out. Then, of course, with Crank Lukongo, we're working on a next thing. So that should be out by the summertime.
Nice. And shout out to Crank Lukongo.
Yes, indeed.
So any live performances? Because, I just see you guys at the Hamilton. I just love to see you guys perform. Any live performances coming up?
Nothing scheduled just yet. Kind of COVID has kind of set everything back.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
We haven't scheduled anything. The stuff we did have, like for the beginning of the year, sort of got pushed back. So we don't really have anything rescheduled. But you'll be the first to know.
Yes, thank you. Please. And I do have my monthly music picks, and I like to drop some different music. I try to drop some different music in my music picks, music from like around the world, different styles of music. Because, everybody, I got to tune, some folks' ears up. Some folks are kind of in a box. We want to let that top off the box and,
Right.
Open your ears and expand your mind. It's a lot of great music out there. I want to close out with you telling folks where they can keep up with you and all this good music, and where can they purchase your music?
Thank you. Well, we prefer you guys support us on Bandcamp. That's sort of like the realest way to do that, because everything is just on that platform and allows for artists to connect directly with those who want to support them. So that's what we would prefer. I mean, the music is available on all streaming platforms, but Bandcamp is where I have the website. Everything's routed to Bandcamp. So if you guys could just support us through that platform, follow us, and you'll have updates on new releases, new merchandise, dates for performances, all that. And then you'll get discounts as well. So we'd appreciate that support on Bandcamp.
Wonderful. And, guys, and let me just plug this. And if you're an artist and you want to work with Charles Road's record, and as they produce and they do a lot of things there, go ahead and reach out. Reach out. Social media. Give out your, everything is on Bandcamp. What about Instagram, Facebook? You have any?
Yeah. Well, first, the website is charlesroadrecords.com. Instagram is at Charles Road Records. And then the various artists, for Charles Road, it's at Charles Road Music. For Unswayed, it's at Unswayed. This is all Instagram. And for Muscles and Jackbone, it's at Muscles and Jackbone. And it's spelled just how it sounds.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for hanging out with me today in the Artist Zone. Much success to you in all that you do. Stay in touch and send me some of that music when it drops.
Oh, I will, most definitely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Peace.
Patience is good for your love. I'll surely wait, just as it should. This This hope for love is everything. My heart for real is willing to take, for as long as love takes to reveal your heart's intent, I'll keep holding on. Patience is good, yes, for your love I'd do anything. If I could, I'd give you the world without the pain. My heart for real is willing to take, for as long as love takes to reveal your heart's intent, I'll keep. Bring your body close to me. I wanna hear you say, it's hard to keep from saying first. Bring your body close to me. I wanna hear you say, it's hard to keep from saying first. Bring your body close to me. I wanna hear you say, yeah.
Yo, what's up? This is trombonist Moshe, and you are in the Smiley J Artist Zone.
All right, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. And special thanks to today's guest, Mr. David Blackwell. Y'all be sure to check out his new music, Patience. Yes, you heard it today. Also check out his videos and follow him on social media. Now, if you're an artist and you want to work with him, go ahead and hit him up and mention the Smiley J Artist Zone. He just might give you a little discount, okay? Also, remember to follow me on social media on YouTube, Instagram, Smiley J _Artist Zone. Like and follow my Facebook page, the Smiley J Artist Zone. And also, don't forget to hit that follow button. Wherever you are listening on any of the music streaming platforms, hit that follow button. Yes. Now, I want to shout out those folks out there who who really understands that good things are worth the wait. Yes, just be patient, okay? Patient is a virtue. Until next time, I'm gonna need y'all to be well, stay safe, and remember to listen to good music. Your ears will thank you for it. I'm Smiley J, and I'm out.